Welcome to the Griff Guide Podcast. I'm Jeremy Griffin, your host. These are my friends Max and Tim.
Hello.
From WinSupply of Wakefield, two of my good buddies that are also happen to be my salesmen and what do you call your job?
I'm just the make life easy guy.
Yeah, the make life easy guy, but you're an internet. You're the what is that?
How do you want to put it?
What's that term?
Influencer?
No. Commerce, the e-commerce guy. You're the e-commerce guy.
The online.
Yeah, you have to
guy.
use that. I'm the e-commerce guy from WinSupply.
I know,
of Wakefield.
but that's the thing. Like when I use e-commerce, sometimes like for the older crowd, it turns them off. So.
I don't think this is the older crowd though.
It's true.
Yeah, so I think we're good. So I'm gonna start, I guess, with both of you guys. Let's go, Max first. Just give me background because I know you guys had no intention of becoming salesmen for a plumbing supply house at some point in your lifetime. You didn't sit down in the first grade and go, "Fuck, I'm gonna be a salesman for a supply house."
Yeah, selling toilets.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell toilets for a living, and it's gonna be a blast.
Where do you want me to start?
Start at the beginning, dude. Like, where did you grow up? Family life? Talk about everything. I want to hear everything.
You want to hear everything?
These
huh?
people need to get your background.
All right. I mean, if yes,
We
You
have
start
to.
with your social security number. If you
Yeah, what was that? What were the last four? Okay.
I mean, I guess so. I was born in Rochester, New York. My parents moved there to start a family. They're originally from Massachusetts. My dad used to work for Kodak back in the day.
No shit.
Cameras, yeah, when they were big. And then they shut down the plant up there in Rochester. So there was a plant in Peabody. So we went back. So we moved back to Massachusetts to go there, and we moved to Georgetown. Grew up my whole life in Georgetown. Graduated 2015 from high school. From there, I originally started at UMass Lowell for school. Didn't really know what I wanted to do. Like everyone, and kind of my grade was like, when you don't know what to do, you go into business, right? And so
Yeah, of
it was
course.
like, yeah, we'll go into business. We'll do like accounting or something, whatever. I was always good with numbers. And it didn't really work for me. I was there for a year and I just felt lost with everything. So I dropped out after year one.
Did you live there?
I did live on campus.
How did that experience go? Not to get off track,
Dude,
but
like sex, drugs, and rock and roll is kind of how I.
that was the first year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just,
all right. Yeah.
Like my mom was very strict. I always joke. My dad was a drill sergeant in the Army Rangers, and my mom was 100% Italian. Who do you think the hard ass was? My
Your mom.
Yeah. Totally.
Was that actually true?
Oh yeah.
Your dad was a drill sergeant.
Drill
in the
sergeant
Army
for the
Rangers?
Army Rangers.
What?
For like 10 years. Chillest guy you'll ever meet. You wouldn't think it.
No shit.
Yeah.
Still haven't met him.
That's cool.
He's
Gotta
a
add
legend.
that to
Everyone,
the
everyone loves Bob.
No
Shout out
kidding.
Bob.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, I was strict growing up. I mean, they raised me right.
Yeah.
But it was pretty strict. So second I had like the touch of freedom, I was like, let's go. Let's just do it.
What did you? So your first year of college, between like all of the partying and whatever, and then realizing that you did not want to be there, you just.
Yeah, I mean the writing was on the wall. I mean,
Okay.
I stopped going to class. I just.
Oh, you were one of those kids.
Yeah, I was skipping like every day, dude. I was like, I don't want to be here.
You're not for it.
Yeah, I was just not happy. It was kind of just the writing on the wall was like, you need a change.
Okay.
So
I feel that.
I took a year to myself. After that, I grew up working in restaurants, so I was working at a breakfast restaurant. He was also doing construction, like on the side. He always built houses and stuff. So
Your dad?
No, my boss at the
restaurant?
Yeah.
So you did construction and
Construction,
cooked eggs?
and then I flipped pancakes on the weekend.
Nice,
That was my
that's
life
sick.
for about a
That's
year.
cool.
And then I realized I wanted to go back to school, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I went to Northern Essex Community College,
Nice.
which was like 15 minutes away from my house. So I started going there full time, got my associate's degree, and then I went on to Salem State. I kind of was like, I was always good at math growing up, and I always used to tutor kids in high school. So I was like, I might as well my plan B was always to be a math teacher. High school math teacher. That was like
Still
always
didn't
the plan
didn't
B.
work.
No, it still didn't work. I know. Here I am. So I was like, well, might as well make the plan B the plan A. So I went to Salem State, still stayed at home, worked 2 jobs. I was a kitchen manager at a golf course in Salem.
No shit.
That's important for a little later down the road. And then I tutored in the math lab. So I just tutored kids, and that's how I paid my way through school.
So you came out with no debt or little to no debt?
Came out with no debt.
No debt. Wow,
at
good
the
for
end
you.
of it. So
you lived at home too, so it's a hell
lived
of a
at
lot
home,
cheaper.
so I didn't have to pay for room and board or anything like
yeah.
that. But when I was working at the golf course, I was going into my senior year, and one of the patrons, I'll say, at the golf course worked for Ferguson at the time. Was always talking to me. You know, he was like, "Oh, what's your plan for when you graduate or whatever?" I was like, "Oh, be a math teacher, whatever." He was like, "Well, if you ever want to make some real money, you know, come talk to me."
I love that, dude. He dropped like the Wolf of Wall
Yeah,
Street
I'm
shit
like-
right in your lap.
So it was always in the back of my head, but I was like, no, I think I'm going to be good with the math teacher thing. And then going into my last semester of school, I already paid off my last bill for school. So I was about to graduate debt free. And to be a high school teacher in Massachusetts, you have to get your master's degree.
Right? Yeah.
So it was either, you know, figure something out or go back into debt. And I was like, I really don't want to do this again. Like, I didn't like the education classes anyway. I was good with the math. I had like a 3.5 GPA in math classes.
But you fucking hated the teaching
I
part.
hated the teaching. It was just like busy work.
Yeah,
Like there'd
yeah.
be one teacher who would give you like 10 assignments. And it's like, yeah, this is all due in 2 days. And you're like, who has time for this? I work 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Like, no, thank you. So I gave him a call. Like in March as I was nearing graduation. And at that time, he had left Ferguson and started at WinSupply of Wakefield.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So,
Oh, that worked out.
yeah, it worked out great.
Imagine if you were working at Ferguson.
Oh, I probably wouldn't have stuck with it.
No,
to be
you
honest
definitely
with
would
you.
have left. I
So
don't really want to trash on a giant corporation right now, but it's
listen,
just
I
the
can.
truth.
Yeah, it's my
It's the
competition.
truth. Yeah, absolutely.
So I met with him kind of to see if, you know, what I was looking for lined up with
Yeah.
kind of the win vision of everything.
Yep.
And so I met with him, and then 2 days later I had my interview with my boss. And at the end of the interview, he was like, "Do you want to have a job here at WinSupply Wakefield?" And I was like, "Screw it, why not?"
Nice.
And here I am 3 years later.
Wow. That's a good story.
It is kind of a wild story.
Yeah.
You know, I always look back at it, I'm like, never would have
It's
seen
always
myself here.
it's a golf course crap, dude. I don't golf, but everybody tells me if you golf, you make wild business deals on the golf course, whether it's getting a job at WinSupply of Wakefield or,
Totally.
you know, your salesman or have to buy you a Rolex because you spent too much money with them.
Maybe.
Maybe. Just an oyster. That's all I want, dude.
Work
Not an
something.
expensive one.
Can work something out.
Yeah, we'll figure it
We'll
out.
figure it out.
Wow, no kidding. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Tim, is your story like, is it similar to that, or were you just
It actually, yeah, it is very similar. I'm glad you
Where
didn't choose math teacher. 'Cause
Yeah.
you could be
Me
like
too.
traumatizing kids with y equals mx plus b, like, all that shit.
dude? No.
A squared plus B squared equals
I
C squared.
did you guys make it like through all the math classes in high school? Like you
Yeah.
probably.
Oh
went-
yeah,
yeah,
crushed
dude.
it in math.
I didn't even make it
Oh.
to pre-calculus. I
Yeah.
fucking just fell apart.
Yeah,
Fell apart. I took business math my last year.
Yeah.
Best math class ever.
really.
Yeah, because it taught me about
Well, it's
loans
real-world
and mortgage. Yeah, it was
applications,
all.
you know?
They taught you how to write out checks and stuff, and I use that every day.
Right.
So Tim, where did you grow up, and what's your like background and home life and all that stuff? Like I don't actually know anything about you guys. This is why I like doing this.
is great.
So I grew up. I was born in Saugus. I lived there till I was first grade. So what's first grade? Like
Six, seven?
Yeah, so 6, 7. We moved to Danvers. We lived in a condo in Danvers. Me, my mom, my stepdad, my brother. I have an older brother by 2 years. Just went to middle school in Danvers, Holden Richmond Middle School. And then high school, I went to St. John's Prep, right in Danvers, right down the street from my house.
Smart kid.
yeah.
Smart kid. Look at him go.
My dad went, so they were pretty eager on me going to St. John's. Your dad went
My
to
dad
St.
went to
John's
St.
too?
John's Prep
Yeah.
too.
I wish I was fortunate enough to go to St. John's.
I could have
part of
easily
it.
gone to St. John's. I just didn't want to make my parents pay like $20,000 a year. I was like, I'm
think
not
it's-
going to do that.
I'm pretty
to
sure
you.
it's a
Yeah.
lot more than that now, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Well, now
Definitely.
they have the middle school too and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta feel bad. Actually, never mind. I'm not gonna go there. But so went to St. John's Prep. I played baseball and wrestling there. That was probably actually one of the hardest parts about going to St. John's Prep is that I grew up playing baseball and playing sports with my friends from Danvers, and then I wasn't able to play them or play against them because Danvers, I think, is D3. I could be wrong. Fact check me on that. But
What is St. John's? D1.
D1? Yeah.
D1.
So
D1.
how was the jump going from like regular town league to D1 high school baseball? That must have been kind of a crazy jump.
Yeah, it
'cause
was a big jump.
way more competitive. The kids that are going there are like actually trying to do something with it, right?
Yeah. So I played freshman year and then JV, And then I actually didn't even try out senior year for my baseball. I just didn't.
You were done.
I mean, like there was a couple recruits going in, and I knew that I wasn't gonna play, but I was gonna have to spend all the time playing. I knew I didn't want to play in college, so I didn't try out my senior year. But I was still doing wrestling as well, which was wicked fun. I loved my teammates in wrestling. The best parts about wrestling was definitely the bus rides, just the shit that we would just pull on each other on the bus rides. But no, I did that. So graduated 2018. Went to URI for neuroscience.
See, this is why we have to talk about these things because
I did not know.
you went to school for fucking neuroscience.
Yeah, I wanted to be a psychiatrist, and then I didn't. And then like the school part of neuroscience started kicking in, and I was like, wow, how am I gonna rush this frat and do neuroscience and do other classes that I don't want to do? And then I just started not going to class, sleeping in late, eating like shit, like
not dialed in.
Just not. Well, I was dialed in.
Not in the
just
right.
on the wrong.
Just on the level.
Just on the wrong things.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Right.
You guys both got a great experience.
We did. We did.
I didn't go to college, so
but
year.
It was 2 months, and then I left. But then I got the best parts of college, which was visiting my friends on the weekends while I was working full time.
That's fun. Good for you.
And living at home, so I was saving a lot there. I had little debt. I think it was my parents had me pay for like 2 months. It was like just a couple thousand, so that wasn't any problem. But
not bad though.
Yeah, left college. Was pizza boy full time. I think we went into this a little bit.
We did,
last time.
yeah. Well, next time we're gonna go into this. Yes.
Next time. But so yeah, delivering pizzas, and then I was doing a little bit of warehouse. They call it the warehouse manager, but I was kind of just doing little things for an HVAC company, central cooling and heating.
Stockroom boy.
Yeah, stockroom, warranties, part runner. There's some bunch of miscellaneous tasks. So I did that and found WinSupply through a very good family friend because one of my best friends, Chris, his older brother went to Norwich and he knew Brendan from Norwich. And I was talking to him about, like, I just want to own a business. I want to own a business, this, that, and the other thing. I was like, I don't like working for people. I want to be the guy. And then he gave me this, he gave me Brendan's number. He's like, yeah, I know a guy I went to college with, very good friend. And he gave me his number because the WinSupply business model works in that way.
Mm-hmm.
You really have good opportunities of moving up there. So he gave me his number, hit up Brendan. Probably had a 20-minute interview, real brief, and then here I am. 3 years. No kidding. 3 years. I started like what, month or two after you?
Yeah, I was June. I think you were either late August or September.
Yeah, September.
Yeah, so 3 months.
I think it's funny though how worlds collide like that because like I, in my own shoes, have been going to Avon Supply since I was in like middle school with my dad.
Right.
And you guys are like completely removed from the situation. So it's like now it's just weird to see how everything intertwines. And then like, you know, your family friend knew Brendan because he went to college with him, but your buddy that worked at the golf or that went to the golf course was a patron of the golf course.
Right.
Ended up being one of his salesmen.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's just weird how that all kind of. The weird degrees of separation is very strange. I don't get that. It's funny though, because like you guys really have rebuilt the reputation for WinSupply because everybody knew it as Avon, right?
Totally.
And when I was at Avon, when I was going there in high school and after that, which I basically refused to go there, after a few years of being out in the field, I was like, I am never going to Avon Supply.
Yeah.
They fucking suck.
Yeah.
Everybody that worked the counter was either like too old to function or they were addicted to fucking perks. No, literally, dude.
Yeah,
and you guys know because you guys have heard the stories. But it's like,
stories.
I'm sitting there and I'm trying to order from a guy that's nodding out like, what the fuck is going? And that's when I just decided, I'm like, everybody has a bad attitude over there. The culture there is garbage. I'm never going there. Right. And that's why I never spent any time or money or efforts in Avon. And then when you flip to WinSupply, some things were mentioned and Brendan continuously called my dad, even though my dad doesn't usually make the decisions on that kind of stuff. And then eventually I got my grips into Brendan and was like, all right, I'm going to give this guy a shot. You know, the Pat Tillman jersey really did it for me when I saw that in
he
his
loves that
office.
He loves that jersey. He's a very hardcore guy. He is also in the Army Rangers.
No,
so
I know. That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, this dude means fucking business.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like big time.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool how he got into it with, they did this like onboarding program for, I think it was 50 guys at the time. It was like 50 guys that they pulled from like military service to onboard them into like creating CEOs or whatever, entrepreneurs or whatever.
Really?
Yeah. I think of those 50 when they started, there's like 6 or 7 of them left.
Yeah, but it's still badass, dude.
Yeah.
You know what, though? Brendan's definitely the type of person for something like that, though. Like, through and through.
Totally.
Yeah, he's the man in charge.
Yeah.
Big time. And that doesn't surprise me at all that he got selected for a program like that out of the Army Rangers of all places.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a couple places that he's traveled around to.
What do you mean?
Yeah. So he started in.
No, I know. Yeah, he was like a
took over the
Georgia
store
guy,
in Georgia.
right?
That was like a $2
Where
million
is he
store.
from?
I think New York.
Yeah, I think he's from.
I'm pretty sure he's from like New
I
York.
think he's from.
Okay,
Because
yeah.
that's how he got. Because then he went to Norwich and all that.
Yeah,
and then
I don't
from
know
there, he
anything
went
about him.
over to Iraq and Afghanistan. I think he did like 2 tours or something.
Wait, so he went to college and then went to Iraq
Yeah.
and Afghanistan? What the fuck?
Yeah.
It'd be a good episode.
Yeah, I need to get Brendan on here. I
Yeah.
need to get that
Yeah.
is probably some fucking wild material that we can throw
Oh
in here.
yeah, I've heard like some very brief stories, and it's like, dude, you're on just a different level than me.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I don't know anything about life.
Yeah, no, when you're in that kind
When you're
of
getting
shit,
shot at, it's just
You-
completely different.
we don't know anything. We're
No.
babies. We just do our jobs and function in society.
He'll
Selling-
he'll
we
selling
don't
talk-
police the world.
He'll talk about it so casually too. He'll be like, "Yeah, we had this job. We had to go to this town or whatever." I'm like, "This job."
Yeah,
Right?
they
Like,
calls it a
yeah,
job.
we had to go shoot people.
Yeah,
Like-
we had to go blow a house
yeah,
up.
we had to go kill the Taliban. It's
Yeah.
like
That's wild.
so casual. It's
Yeah.
crazy, but
But he's a good boss.
It's great.
Great boss.
he's a great boss.
If you work hard.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
no, I
really-
feel like if you slack off, like he's gonna be right behind
Oh,
you, like ready to be like,
there's
dude.
been a couple times where he's like had to put me in check. You know, like
That's
things
what
things start to slip a little bit, and
yeah,
he'll
that's
be
what
like,
you need, dude.
"Max, like, come on,
That's what you need.
give you
That's
that
a good
little
boss.
ass kick again." Yeah,
I-
he definitely he pushes you to bring out the best in you.
Well, that's good.
Should
So-
we kind of give the background as to like WinSupply, how it became where we're at now?
I mean, if you want to, actually, can we get the WinSupply of Wakefield logo up there? I believe I sent that over to you guys. No, I would more. I mean, WinSupply, great company, obviously, but you guys are the ones we buy from,
Right.
So I want to hear more about like what you do, what your real roles and responsibilities. Like, give me a day in the life of what it's like to be at WinSupply in your job position.
do you want to start from like the beginning?
Yeah, like I just don't know. I don't know what you do. I know you come and visit me every day
Right.
or whatever once a week, and I know Timmy visits me frequently. But like I don't know what I have no idea what the fuck you guys do
Right.
otherwise.
I mean, I guess so. My current role is outside sales.
right?
So, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I go out into the field. I meet with customers. I try to bring in new customers. You're kind of farming in a way.
Yeah,
Like we have existing business. That's great. That's already established. It's how can we grow? And that's kind of the big thing with WinSupply Wakefield is they're pushing for growth within your company. So they want to see like with your numbers on the books, whatever, 10% growth every year. So you have to always be farming in new customers. And
yep.
considering the area we're in Greater Boston,
Shouldn't be
it's-
too hard to farm.
No, it's
you guys are in
massive.
some rich soil
Yeah,
here.
you just look at like a 10-mile radius from where we are. There's got to be 50, 100 plumbing shops
Oh, at least.
at least.
Yeah, dude.
Big ones too. you
John
know
Deere
what I mean?
tractor's fired up. You're rolling.
So it try to go out and farm, whether it's growing accounts that we don't do much business with, like
mine.
you,
Yep.
which is how we
You
kind of
guys didn't
started getting in
realize
touch.
what was under that big rock.
We did realize what was under that big rock, and we wanted a piece of it.
Okay, that's
So
fair.
We kind of went after that, and then it's also pulling in customers that may have never heard of WinSupply. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Or have the wrong impression from
Right, correct.
exactly
And there's
what you-
probably still a lot of people out there that have the wrong impression.
Yeah,
I
they're
can
like,
tell you.
fuck
Right.
these guys.
If you
yeah.
guys just went back through like the Rolodex of customers, and it's probably a Rolodex
It's
at
massive.
at Avon, like you
Yeah.
could probably go down the line, and I
Yeah.
guarantee you guys could flip more people just out of that.
Totally. So I guess quick background for the listeners is with the store we're at WinSupply now. It was an acquisition back in 2020 from this supply house owned by a single guy that was Avon Supply, and they were around for like 50 years.
They had everything you needed.
They loved stock, dude.
Yeah, they
loved
did.
having stock.
They just were terrible customer service people. And
not
did
great customer service
They
people.
didn't know
I
how
think,
to treat anybody correctly.
Yeah, I was Brendan's 5th hire, I think, when I started, and I think the average age when I started had to have been like 60 years
And
old.
now it's what, like 40, 45?
Yeah, I think our oldest employee now is 45-ish. Yeah,
Oldest
Or
employee.
no, because of Lynn.
Okay, aside from one
Aside from one person.
What is it, like 20 to 45
Yeah.
range?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's young.
Yeah.
Their median is like what, 30?
That's a good
30,
median.
35.
That's
something
what you
like
want,
that.
dude.
So,
yeah,
I
you
mean, it
don't
was
have a
kind of
bunch
just
old
turning that
heads.
around from like, I mean, these guys were just taking in what was coming to them, whatever. They didn't try to push new business to
That's
now
nice.
this new mindset of going out there and like young, hungry guys seeing what they can do and like, let's grow this thing, you know? And that's kind of where I came in. I mean, I knew nothing when I came into the plumbing industry.
Right, you guys had no idea.
I had no idea what a ProPress 90 was.
Yeah. Now you know how to sell thousands of them.
Yeah,
every day.
I mean, it's simple stuff, and the conversations aren't even about plumbing. It's about, I mean, the whole point of us is we're trying to be an extension of your business.
Right.
We're a part of your business.
That's why you guys are here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%.
So it's kind of convincing customers to,
Spend
why
money.
we're a good fit for you.
Give it a shot.
A lot of it too. I mean, a lot about the sales when I first got into sales, I thought you needed to know the answer to every single question. You need to know everything about product. But I feel like that's a big misconception, is because the one thing that you need to do, especially something that we do great at WinSupply, is also that we trust our team. So,
well, you guys have a very good team mentality.
Right,
That's the
so-
difference. You guys have an answer. It just may not come from you
Right,
directly.
exactly. So if I kind of mentioned this in the last episode, is that I am not the technical guy. Like, I'm not going to be able to help you troubleshoot a boiler. I'm not going to know every single question about voltage, wattage, all of that, this, that, and the other thing. I found that most success in sales, and this is to anyone listening, is 100% confidence and personality in your ability to make people laugh. Because if you are
100%.
if you are just a fucking 2x4 of a personality and you know everything, like,
It only gets you so far.
Right?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right.
am I?
You
like,
can't
I'm
just
gonna
be like a stone wall, like,
yeah.
you can't just sit there and be just, well, you know what? So I have other salesmen that I've worked with in the past that are like that. They have the personality of a fucking 2x4. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Love that. And yeah, dude, they're literally like, it's hard to one, relate to them, but also to be like, yeah, I want to spend money with you. I have fucking zero confidence in that guy.
Right.
I have all the confidence in this kid because he shows up with a mustache and a
Yeah, dude.
crazy
Yeah,
ass fucking mullet every time.
Exactly.
Yeah. Why do you think
that's-
he got the job? He showed up to his job interview with a stash.
I know.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
did.
No
First
shit.
impression.
Did you play piano for Brendan too?
No, I should though.
Yeah, you should.
Just
I
play-
watch
the
some of your
national anthem
videos
for
on
him.
Instagram. They're nice. They're good. I like them.
Dude, I can sling the keys.
I
man.
know. I've heard
You can
from
tickle the
several
ivories.
people that you can do that.
Yeah.
So it's good. Maybe I'll have you play at a Christmas party one of these years.
Dude, definitely.
Next time I have a house again.
There's gonna be some people are gonna get so fired up. There's gonna be damages. So just
No, it's fine. We can have damages. I always allot that in the budget. There's always going to be something always gets fucking destroyed.
I want to do like a howl at the moon night with some of the guys in WinSupply of Wakefield and some customers, and just get a couple drinks in me and just fucking let it rip on the keys.
Will they let you on there?
I mean,
Can you just like
Just gonna
go up
stop
and
him.
just
I'm the
be like,
cap-
hey,
I'm
fucking.
the captain now.
I mean,
Yeah,
I could.
right, yeah, I
I've
don't
done
know.
it in places before. I'd be like, hey, can I rip a song? And then I've started playing. I played at I remember I played at an Easter function at the Ferncroft Country Club.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, I was
sick.
like 12 at this time, but I started playing.
Little Ginger Tim just ripping keys.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I started playing All of Me, and then like all the MILFs in the golf club were just loving it. Oh,
They love the 12-year-old Tim. He's so cute. They probably
Exactly.
pinched your cheeks too.
yeah,
I'm
my
sure.
mustache was longer back then.
Yeah, I
too,
bet
which
it
helped.
was.
At 12.
They're probably obsessed.
But yeah, but going back to what I was saying about being a good
Confidence.
salesman, it's confidence, man. I mean, that's why I talked about it before. That's why we're very good at what we do. We're two confident individuals with two different skill sets.
That's true. You have a lot more product knowledge than he does.
Yeah, but
But
I
he's
think
a Johnny on the
that's-
spot kind of guy
Yeah,
where,
I
like, if I
mean-
call him, it gets done in 4.5 seconds. Or he
Right.
calls me to tell me he already did it and I just
Right.
placed the order.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
Hey,
But
yeah, that order, it's done.
Told you, make life easy,
part of
guy.
that
I know.
is, just being able to deliver. Like, I may not have the answer for you right now, but I can get it for you.
Right.
And I can turn it
Yeah,
around
but that's all I want.
fast,
But
you
the
know?
difference is like I can get an answer for you, and when you guys do that in a timely fashion, that's what makes the difference.
Right.
Because I cannot tell you how many people in our industry will be like, "Oh, I'll get you an answer," and then they call me back like 3 days later after I've already figured out the answer, solved the problem, gotten billed
Yeah.
out,
This thing was
paid the
installed 2
bill.
days ago,
Like,
man.
yeah,
Right.
dude,
Yeah.
literally, it's like the job is 100% complete,
Right.
and like we've moved well on beyond that, and they're like, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah," and I'm
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck good is that?"
Right.
Like,
I
we
mean-
have to get our answers right away now. It's
mean,
not
that's
like
just the
something we can. Yeah, it's the industry.
industry,
Everything
yeah.
is, especially when you're talking about heating equipment and water heaters. Because you're
Oh,
the
yeah.
commercial water heater guy.
Yeah.
It's like I need this right now.
Right.
That's my whole life.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you
It's
guys
not
are just
fun.
good at being like, here you go.
I've gotten, a couple weeks ago from my biggest customer, I got a phone call from him at 11 p.m. on a Sunday.
Oh boy.
Desperate. I didn't have to open for him. He was like, I'm just going to send a guy there first thing in the morning, 6 a.m. But someone woke him up. He's normally in bed by then because he goes into the office at like 3:30 in the morning. That's when he starts his day.
Why?
Yeah, he's a psycho. Before the
Does he have
the
like
shit
a?
show starts.
Does he have like a very large company?
They're huge. They're like
Oh.
190 guys.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
So you have to be there
Yeah,
at 3:30 in the
not
morning.
not union, but they do all the commercial work in all of New England. Like
Holy
probably
fuck, dude.
70% of it.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're intense.
Yeah, I would
So,
have to get up at 3:30 in the morning.
his
that's
team-
a big.
so-
That's a big
Yeah,
ticket.
before the whole storm of the day and whatever service stuff comes in, because that's all they are is service, quick in and out, quick change outs on everything. You know what I
What do
mean?
they spend with WinSupply a year? Am I allowed to ask that question?
I don't know if I should say.
Yeah, no. Is it a lot of dollars?
They're growing. I've been incorporating more of their business, getting into more aspects of their business. They've spent more with us this year than last. I'll say this: they spent more with us this year than they did last year, and last year they spent $500K with us.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
Okay.
I could easily get them to like 2 to 5 mil.
Oh, so this is okay. So this is a guy you got to keep.
Oh, totally.
Keep building the confidence.
And so when I get a phone call from him, it's one of those you always answer.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's
Yep.
no not answering.
It's not like with me where you're like, you can wait. I'll call him back.
No, I mean you're pretty. Yeah, I mean.
No,
you're
you
pretty
called
close.
me today and answered, and you were taking a piss. So
Yeah, I mean, hey,
Yeah,
that's
you-
some
yeah, you- that's
dedication,
commitment
right
right
there.
Yeah,
there.
it didn't
That's
help when you were
absolutely-
taking a piss. The fuck is that? You
Yeah.
should have called me, man. Fuck this guy. no, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
that was just the first thought. I was like, I got to call him. No,
gonna
I think
say-
you called me before. We played phone tag all day today.
We did play a little bit.
We
of
did
phone
not
tag.
play much phone
I
tag
know.
today.
It was
I was
fun.
also out in the field, so that was a whole nother fucking ball of shit. So you guys basically are just, I mean, you definitely do a majority just outside sales specifically. You're always out on the road meeting with clients.
Yeah, I mean, I try to, just because of some internal things, I try to be at the office to like help the guys out. But it's also tough because when you have these tasks as an outside sales guy, and then you're in the office and there's 10 guys at the counter, and it's like everyone's ringing for counter help, or
And then you get Timmy out there. And
Right.
He fucking just
And-
wraps it up
or
in
the
4
phones
seconds.
are just nonstop ringing. It's sometimes hard to get all the tasks done that you need to get done.
That
so
makes sense.
sometimes it's better to be on the road, and worst comes to worst, I go to a Starbucks and crank out some.
So
sales
do you
orders.
just kind of play the field for him in a lot of cases where it's like that's why you say you tag team it, is because he's like, I'm out on the fucking road, take care, like, can we get this guy taken care of, or vice versa?
So he tries to get. We actually spoke about it today. He tries to get 3 days out of the week where he's fully on the road.
Okay.
Just doing a little fishing, trying to get some guys, trying to get new customers. Just putting his name.
Buying
out
some
there.
donuts and coffee.
That's it,
Dude, I had a
but
guy
also
show-
maintaining.
Right.
I had a guy show up with gingerbread construction company muffins.
Oh yeah, those
And I
guys.
literally called him and I said, you know what, sir? I have to give you my business now. And he was like, what? And I'm like, yeah, dude, like, you showed up with the muffins. You've been to my shop 4 times now. You have my business.
Are they
Congratulations.
competition? Do we have to talk?
Oh, no,
after
no.
this?
They work with you guys.
Oh, they work with
Yeah,
us?
it's the remediation company that Brendan and his buddies with. I don't even know the name of it, dude, to be honest with you. I feel like a fool right now.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a mold remediation company that does like cleanups and stuff. They were at WinSupply, like the counter day thing that I was at, that you guys were at, that we ripped a bunch of beers. And hung on site.
That was probably that trailer that we had no idea. Remember that big trailer that was by
For the Win Expo?
the loading dock?
Yeah,
at
the Win Expo.
Oh.
Yes, that's like Brendan's buddy.
I had no idea who they
Yeah,
were.
he's
Just
like-
he'll do that sometimes. He'll just be like, he'll just do stuff and not
Yeah.
tell anyone, and no one knows what's happening.
Yeah, Brendan
I was
gave
like, oh,
him my
who's that?
like
I'm like, no
contact
idea.
card, and then he like started showing up in my office, and we already had a mold remediation company that we were like using, which like, don't get me wrong, they're a good company, and that's why I'm not throwing names out there right
Right.
now, but they're good. But like, you know, this guy just shows up with fucking muffins and has been hounding me, and I'm like, you
Just
know what,
like
dude,
that.
like I'm gonna give you some business.
Yeah.
Like I would like more muffins. I'm gonna
That's
give you
what it
more
is.
business.
Where were the muffins from?
Gingerbread
On
in Wakefield on the
Right
lake.
in Wakefield by Honeydew,
Have you ever been there?
by the gas
I know
Not
station.
that-
to get off track.
I've been to the one in Tossfield.
Okay, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Gingerbread Construction Company, right?
I could be thinking of a different place.
I hope you're thinking of a different
could be
place, because if
thinking
you
of a
aren't,
different
me and
place.
you need to go get muffins very soon. Like next time you come in my office, we're going to get muffins. Or
Is
you
it
just,
right next to the Honeydew?
yeah. Oh, dude, you know what? All right, so Tim, this is what I need you to do. I need you to come to my shop sometime this week if you have time. But
Yeah,
I
sales
need
call.
Yeah, sales call.
Sales call.
Stop there and get muffins, and then you'll understand why you needed to come to my office.
Fuck yeah.
They're beautiful.
Absolutely.
They're fucking beautiful.
Let's do a little muffin date.
Strawberry shortcake. Make sure you bring me one strawberry shortcake. I got to take that home.
Shortcake.
So, as a request,
Add it to the
direct
slip.
request.
Add it to a slip.
Yep. Strawberry shortcake
Add
and
it to the
a
next sales
Rolex oyster
Next Jay Griffin stock orders, one strawberry shortcake muffin,
and
special order.
and a Rolex.
Let's talk about the stock orders.
The stock orders?
Yeah.
I don't. Why are we talking about stock orders? We gotta. What you want to talk about stock orders right now?
Well, the how we do it.
Oh, well, so that, you guys, this is the one thing that I was absolutely blown away by. When you show up and say that you're going to reorganize someone's stockroom and get it labeled and get it right so it works the right way, you guys fulfilled the exact promise, which I thought was insane, because now I can just walk in there and scan shit. The whole process was like basically, I mean, we had to spend some time in there to get organized, but now it's like seamless.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just calling Max to order Navian parts at this point at free random
Right.
when I use them. But like other than that, it's literally, I don't talk to you anymore, unfortunately, because I'm just scanning fucking barcodes.
I
now.
know, that's the sad part about it. So basically what we did for Jeremy and Jay Griffin is he had a little supply room. But that little supply room holds a lot of shit.
Tons of shit.
And that shit was not organized.
Not at all.
One competitor tried to go in. They promised him up and down that they would do it. They did not do it.
Correct.
So I went in,
Not even close.
and me and Jeremy took hours out of some of our very busy days, and we just slowed down the process and said, okay, where do we want each thing? Where do we want our faucet supplies? How are we going to do our pro press? How are we going to label? How are we going to organize our Navian parts?
Right.
So,
Every single part in every single bin.
so what I can do and what we can do at WinSupply is however you want your supply house binned out, labeled out, and we can make it happen. You can have a little mini supply in your supply house.
Yeah.
Barcoded, you go right up off the phone, right off the WinSupply app.
So easy.
Order it,
So
quantity,
easy.
cart.
Takes me literally like I want to say for me to do like, which I have to do tomorrow because I haven't done it in like a fucking week, which is bad. Good for you guys, bad for me.
Can't wait
yeah,
for
but
that
literally-
Balls in your court.
I think when I walk through there, I am probably in that stockroom for a total of like maybe 5 minutes, and my order's placed, and
That's
you guys are just dropping the shit off. Like
That's
it's too easy. Like it finally, you guys basically turned it into
Right.
like Amazon of plumbing supplies, which is nice.
And
We're
going back to
trying.
our roles too, it's kind of like funny. Like that's the thing that Timmy chose to dive into.
Yeah, but
and
that's like a
specialize in.
really good thing to specialize
Yeah,
in.
totally. I mean, my thing was commercial water heaters,
Which is also a
was-
great thing to be
which is
involved
a great
in.
thing. I'm the guy.
Quick
you know?
money, quick turnaround
Right,
on that
and
stuff.
I think kind of the cool thing about, you know, us being so young coming into this industry and not knowing anything was we could be a sponge that
Right.
takes that in. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
Choose what we want to dive into and specialize in and just run with it. And
Right.
Brendan really gave us the opportunity.
Well, he
to do
gives you
that.
the reins to a certain extent.
Totally.
Yeah, no, it's you guys definitely, because I feel like because he gives you free reign over what you do to a certain extent, it makes you guys more effective in your jobs because you gravitate towards something that, one, you either like, or two, you guys are very good at and you can stay on top of, and then you just blow the doors off the process, whatever it is.
I mean, I think he just picked a really good team because me and Max he could do all the outside sales and I can do all of the barcode scanning, but the reason why we're so efficient and we're able to get things done is because Brendan, he handpicked a really good team when it starts with the counter. The warehouse guys picking our orders, those big stock orders, those big deliveries, those job quotes. When they
the drivers,
the drivers, you
Shout
gotta
out
respect
to the
your drivers. A lot of supply houses respect your drivers, man.
They're
But
important.
they're out there, man. They're in the
ones that are
field. They're the
very
ones
important.
that the customers
Most
see half the
important.
time. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Absolutely.
But
It really tells you, the vibe of the business.
counter guys are great. We have our guy Alex. He just
It's a psycho.
runs around the counter and just gets shit done. I don't know how he does it. I don't know.
Does it seem like it's wildly unorganized when he does it?
No, he just like.
Or is he just banging
Just
through
pumping.
orders? Yeah,
You
just
got
pumps
Alex.
through
You got
orders.
Victoria. You got.
She's cool shit.
Oh, Victoria's dope.
She's
Victoria's
great.
dope.
Great.
She's dope. Like
Yep.
she's a huge
Yeah.
part of our team as well.
How long she's been with WinSupply for not that long, right?
No, like a few months.
yeah, I was gonna say.
3,
They
4
came in and
months.
she was working the counter. I'm like,
Like,
Yeah.
who the
Who
fuck
the hell
is
is this?
hey, who is this?
Yeah.
Like, where are Max and Tim? What
Yeah.
happened?
Exactly. But that's another thing about WinSupply too is that a lot of our job positions are constantly shape shifting.
Yeah, you guys are interchangeable though in a certain way too.
It's
with-
fucking
But-
nuts.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
don't
pretty
understand the
crazy.
design, but it works.
Yeah, I mean, just everyone knows everything, and there's no such thing as that's not my job.
Yeah,
I like that. That's the team mentality. It's
Yeah.
not
we can't do what
Yeah.
we do without our guys back there too.
Right.
Like,
right.
And I mean, I think Tim and I have a respect for that because that's where we all started too.
Yeah.
Like we were both we both started in the warehouse together. Then we went up to the counter,
Right.
and then inside sales, and now I'm outside sales, and
What-
Timmy's like half in and out.
What's the most like innovative thing that you guys have seen come out recently? And don't say heat pump water heaters because I'll fucking kill both of you. I don't want to hear about them. I really don't, because you have to. All right, let's talk about heat pump water heaters for a quick
Okay,
second.
I guess
That's
we are
his
talking
forte.
And
about
This
anybody
is where I
watching this, I
turn.
just
Pump
want you to
water
know the
heaters.
amount
Grab
of
my fucking popcorn.
Yeah.
yeah, you might as well, but it's like the amount of energy and bullshit that goes into just like designing, and then, oh, do I have to duct it or not duct it? Oh, I have to put a mixing valve on. Oh, a leak sensor. Dude, it's like by the time you're done with that, just fucking slap a tankless water heater on the wall and call it a day.
Yeah, but you should
you're
be
gonna
doing all that with your tankless water heater anyway.
That is true, but the process is easier.
It's the same.
It's not the same. Fuck electricity, dude. Natural gas is the way to go.
I know, but that's where everything's going.
No,
especially
it's
in
not. Yeah,
Massachusetts.
just give it a few more minutes, and we'll be switched.
A few
back
more
over.
minutes.
A few more minutes will be
you know what?
switched
I'll
back
tell
over
you,
to natural
probably
gas.
in 10 years, I think everything will start going back to natural gas.
Yeah,
but I
dude,
think
it's-
I think the pendulum swing is going in this direction. It's going to be going in this direction for a while.
you think so?
Totally.
Yes.
Totally.
Dude, the state is fucking throwing money at people to go electric.
It is. Have you heard what they're doing in California?
No.
So-
Yeah, they're switching back to natural gas. Did you hear about that?
No.
Dude, they're doing hydrogen test plants right now because the electrical grid is so fucked up.
Yeah, it is fucked up. But they're also
Wonder how
offering-
that fucking happened.
But they're all,
Electrification.
Yeah, not gonna get there. Go
but
there,
they're also offering on a commercial heat pump water heater install. They're
Yeah.
giving you a $20,000 grant,
Okay, but how much does a commercial heat pump water heater?
like $6,000.
Okay, but
So
okay.
you're so
that
you're,
pays
so
that
you
pays
can get
for the install is what you're telling me.
yes,
They're not
it pays
getting
for the
extra
whole
money.
job and then some
No, they're not
to the
getting-
supply house.
I would be charging fucking $20,000.
yeah, you'd be like, all that money is coming my way.
Yeah, no,
thank you."
that's dude. Everybody knows as well as I do, and I'm sure there's going to be homeowners that watch this at some point. The rebate thing in reality is kind of a giant scam, because if I know as a contractor,
It's just a way for them to push it in the direction.
yeah,
that
it
they
just
wanna
makes it
push
a little bit cheaper for you. But the problem is, like with the heat pump stuff, all as everybody did, and like it took a while for a lot of contractors to catch on. But the
Right.
first couple contractors that were like, oh, wait a minute, we can do something with this. Yeah, dude, they're just gonna raise your bill by $10,000 fucking dollars. That's all they did.
Buy the solar panels, then you won't have to worry about it.
Right, and maybe that's the case, but
Spend
that's
50 grand on
50
that,
grand.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody just raised their prices like instantly. They're like,
Exactly. Yeah, like, oh, you're saving on gas. Yeah, because it's all going to electricity. Why is
Yeah.
your electricity bill now freaking $700 a month?
right,
Gee,
exactly.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I
'cause
wonder
everything
what
in your house is
happened there.
electric.
It's fucking
Yeah,
insane.
it is dumb.
It is a giant racket. I mean,
Yeah.
good for you if you think you're going to make a difference, great.
No, I know. And listen,
I just personally think with the efficiencies and how they make electricity in Massachusetts versus how, natural gas is burned in an efficient manner, it does not make sense for this state to go electric, to electrify everybody.
yeah, and that's why I think they're going to go this way for a while.
But like you said,
I
it's
think
going to
you're gonna
shift
see the
back.
pendulum swing back.
Yeah, dude, right
eventually.
now they're fucking burning
Yeah.
they're burning oil. They're burning, I don't know if we have any coal plants in Massachusetts. I don't think we do.
I don't think
But
so.
they're burning fucking diesel fuel to make electricity. And you're going
Right.
to tell me that that's more efficient than burning natural gas at 97%?
Wrong.
I don't
Go
know shit
electric.
about math. I don't know shit about efficiencies. And I'm not an engineer by any standard, but I can tell you that math does not add up.
Well, it's just stupid. I mean, they put all this time into
'cause
maximize the efficiency on all these natural
And
gas
now we're
units, and
throwing
now it's
them in
like,
the
what, we're gonna
garbage.
throw 'em all
Right,
out?
exactly. It just doesn't make sense.
Stupid.
And on top of that, they're overburdening the electrical grid.
Right.
And we're not getting any of our fuel sources in a clean manner. There's not, dude, Massachusetts is like 9%, or don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure it was 9% renewables. And out of those 9% renewables, like 6% of the 9% was fucking hydroelectric. So like we get like 3% from wind and solar. It could be
Right.
more than that now, but a couple years ago it was literally 3%. And I'm like, so we're burning all of that fuel. We're going to burn 91% fuel to get our electricity, but you want me to get away from the fuel that I'm burning at 97% efficiency.
Yeah.
And we're gonna pay you for it too.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, we're going to pay you
exactly.
to switch
Everybody
off.
Because it
has a
doesn't make
fucking
sense.
price,
So
man,
here's
you know?
money
I know,
to
it's
do
just-
it. Yeah.
It's wild, dude. I don't
It's-
know. I guess there you go. There's your innovative plumbing topic for the
I mean,
day.
that's what it is. I
Mhm.
mean, like, I guess the big brand that probably people know out there is Na'vi, I just heard this rumor recently.
Shout out to Goodings.
You're wearing the
Shout-
shirt, man.
Love them
I am wearing the
boys.
shirt. Shout out
I'm
to
not,
Na'vi.
but I would.
I just heard this rumor. Can't even remember where I heard it from, that they might be coming out with a mini split.
I don't know if you're allowed to say that. Hopefully you weren't supposed to sign an NDA. To
No,
talk
there's
about
no
it.
that's fine.
NDA.
No,
There's
that's
no
fine.
NDA with Navian.
That's
I just
fine.
signed an NDA to talk to the engineers from Renai. Did I tell you guys about that?
No, well,
Not that
you
I'm
can't
allowed
because
to-
you signed an NDA.
I signed an NDA, but they said I just couldn't talk about what we discussed in the meeting, which I almost just did a few minutes
Yeah,
ago.
what you guys talk about?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, they
We got
brought in, and see, this is why I love the Korean and Japanese companies. Like, dude, even you go car companies
Terrific
like
people.
Toyota, yeah, they're great people, and they actually care. They want to know what you want. They want to know what's effective for you and how to make it the best process they possibly can for you. And having those guys in there was like, wow, like they
The real
wanted to
fucking
know.
deal.
They want to know how we could make the installs faster. They want to know X, Y, and Z things.
Right.
They want to know how they could be more innovative. And it's like for guys to come from Japan to ask me those questions.
Oh, they
Same
came
thing
from
with
fucking
Navian. For
Japan?
big time engineers from Navian to call us and ask those questions, like when they say they're coming out with a mini split, I have a lot of confidence in that system. Even though people are like, I don't know, it's Navian, how good could it really be? It's like, dude, listen, they've definitely turned a corner at this point. Their new units are a hell of a lot better than their old ones.
They
Yeah.
just have. I feel like Navian. Just when you're chit chatting with plumbers, it always seems like Navian has a bad rep.
It does have a
I
bad
really-
rep,
I
which I
really
don't
don't.
get.
I feel like it just comes down to the install, and I feel like it has a bad rep is because Navian is so accessible,
Yes.
so you can get it in a lot of places.
And you can get the
compared-
parts
just-
everywhere.
I just think that's the problem. Is like the
And it's
install is
cheap.
fine. It's the service that's kind of
No, I
'cause
would
there's so many
disagree with
parts.
that. I'm more on with Timmy on that one. Dude, the install, so I can tell you guys, and the only reason why I know is because I've been working with Navian for
For a long
longer than
time.
both of you guys have
Yeah.
been employed at WinSupply
Right.
combined.
Right.
Working with Navian and doing the installs correctly is 99% of the battle. I went into a customer's home today. I did the fucking combi install at their house
Yeah.
like 3 months after I graduated from high school.
And it's still
And they're beautiful. They're in perfect shape.
that plays on to the issue of They're the cheapest. You can get it almost fucking anywhere.
But they
And
work.
They work, but when you say cheap, I don't know what some people's policies are with selling equipment. Maybe the most specialized guy is buying not most specialized guy is buying a fucking Navien and just throwing up on their fucking
That's
grandpa's
exactly what they're doing, dude.
Right.
They're going to old corn pop's house and throwing it up on the wall and calling it a
wall.
day.
Yeah, there you go. Don't
But-
touch the fucking thermostat. Have a nice
Yeah,
day.
but they installed it correctly and they didn't put all the things that they're supposed to on there, and that's exactly why it gets a bad rep. Anytime that I hear a technician or a company say that they stopped doing service for Navien, I always go, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Fuck yeah.
More for me.
Yeah, no, exactly, because we are literally, when it comes down to it, if you called Navien tech support right now and said, give me somebody in the greater Boston area, I bet you 99% of the fucking customer support people or the technical support guys, California or New Jersey, are going to tell you to call us.
Really?
You didn't know that, did you?
No.
Every single tech support guy, California or New Jersey, knows who we are.
Amen.
They know who we are and they know what we do. And they know that we work on their product multiple times a day, multiple crews every single day of the year, just about.
That's
I
awesome.
mean, you guys have more fucking Navien parts
Than
than
WinSupply.
we did,
I
dude.
know.
I looked in there. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, and we still do. We still do. And we will continue to do that. And that's one big thing that I want to harp on. I'm probably going to get the Goodings in here at some point. I'd love to have Peter and probably get David on here.
That'd be pretty
Just
cool.
fucking stand-up chaps
Yeah,
there.
if
They're awesome.
yeah, they're the
They're really
greatest dudes
great.
ever. If
Shout
I get
out David
David in
Gooding.
here though, we're gonna have to probably sit down and eat a meal while we talk about whatever we're gonna talk about. I don't know if that's
You
allowed.
might need to book
but
this for like 2 hours.
yeah, it might be a 2-hour podcast
Yeah.
just to talk to the Goodings. But yeah, dude, I don't know. Navien went a little bit fast on how they produced their product and how they
The
can,
first time.
the first time
Yeah.
around. But I do honestly fully believe that they do a good job and they do make a good product if you
Fine
install it
product.
correctly.
And everyone
if
knows
you're
the
servicing
product.
it, if you change the oil in a car, it's gonna fucking drive for longer, right? It's not, the engine's not gonna blow up.
Mhm.
It's just all about service. I mean,
That's it.
some people don't want to pay for it. Some people want to do it on their own, whatever the case is. That was the even bigger kicker with me revisiting that job after 10 years. The guy's been doing the service himself, and
That's
it was
impressive.
mint.
Yeah.
Mint. When I looked at the heat exchangers, I was like, I cannot believe that they're this old.
Holy shit.
Dude, yeah, it was literally like
That's
he
sick.
sat, I don't know if he was sitting down there with car polish and polishing the outside of the
Just
case.
gotta
but,
make it look good for him.
yeah,
you know?
but I mean, dude, I was shocked at how well the product held up.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I guess chiming in on that, that's kind of I guess my biggest gripe is when people say oh, this product isn't made the way it used to be. Oh, water heaters aren't made the way they used to be. It's
Yeah, no
well,
shit.
what are you doing to service them?
Right.
Are you going there yearly? Are you flushing out the tank? Are you
Right.
cleaning the anode rod? Are you doing anything?
You
Are
taking
just,
the anode rod out and replacing it?
yeah. Do you have a mixing valve on there? Do you
have filtration?
Right. Exactly. No, none of that. You're not touching any of it. Of course it's going to shit the bed. You're not doing anything to take care of it.
Yeah.
As we move towards, I guess, more tech advanced products, they require some care. They require some maintenance
Yeah, but it's
to
still,
take care of them.
even with the I would say even with the technology improving and increasing, I feel like we're still at a crossroads where planned obsolescence, even if it's not, it still is. Right? At the end of the day, I know some products like Navien's not designed to break. They
Right.
don't want them to break down.
Right.
Renai doesn't want their product to break down.
Right.
But
Right. Who wants that reputation?
there is definitely certain products out there, and you guys know as well as I do, that they do a shitty job building them
Yeah.
because they know they're coming out soon.
right.
Mhm.
You guys don't rep Utica, do you? You guys sell Utica?
Not anymore.
Used
Okay,
to.
excellent. So I'm gonna shit talk these guys for a second.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah.
No, but dude,
we
no,
we dropped them.
I'm
a
glad
year
you
in
did
as when-
because, dude, I went into a Utica that was 4 years old
Yeah.
the other day, and I had to tell the guy that it needed to be replaced. The exchanger was fucking leaking.
The whole fucking
The
thing.
whole thing was just a mess, dude. And it's it had
Oh.
only been in for 4 years.
That's
And I'm
terrible.
like, did you buy this or did you have it installed? And he's like, oh, I bought the house like this. And I was like, did you know you were supposed to service it? And he said, no. And I go inside the cabinet and I'm looking around and it needs a new board. It needs a new heat exchanger. It needs a new pump, new three-way valve
There's
motor,
a whole motor that's such a
three-way valve
nightmare.
assembly. And it's like, dude, I'm sitting there and I'm telling the guy it's going to be $5,000 in parts and labor to fix the thing.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck that. What's a new unit cost?
right.
So Utica absolutely sucks. They will never get my business, and
Damn
I'll say
right.
that right here, right now.
Burnham or Will McLean?
Yeah,
Well,
Will McLean's the best.
Will McLean's great.
Will McLean is the best. They make the
I
best
guess
steam
for all the
boilers under
homeowners
sun.
out there, just buy the service contract because it'll save you a lot of money in the long run.
Yeah, it will.
Just
Because
do
if
it.
I catch something
through Jay
on-
Griffin. Plumbing here.
yeah, if you buy it through us, it'd be better. But if you catch that on the first year or two, if you catch a leak, something leaking inside the cabinet
Yeah.
because you did the service, it's better than showing up 4 years later and go, holy shit, this has been leaking all this time and nobody looked inside the cabinet because they just assumed it was fine.
Right.
That I think there was a big disconnect with homeowners and like in service techs not explaining that they needed to get these serviced every single year.
Right.
There was a big disconnect somewhere. I don't know when it happened, but I think it's because a lot of the old school guys started to install the high efficiency shit and they had no idea what they're talking about.
No.
And now guys like our age are stepping into it and going, oh no, you have to service this. You don't have a choice. It'll break down if you don't. Now that we're getting kind of around to that sort of like notion, I feel like people are like not as pissed off.
I'd agree. I'm going to go off on a little bit of it. This will tie back into the main subject. So
Run
I
it.
just got my car serviced the other day.
Did you go to the dealership?
I went to the dealership.
I go to the dealership too. I get shit on by my girlfriend all the time that I shouldn't go to the dealership because they're a ripoff. I disagree.
I'll explain to you why. So I went. I had my trunk was not opening. I have an
Yeah.
electric trunk. It wasn't opening, and like my e-brake parking sign was blinking.
Yeah.
So I brought it into the shop. Like I didn't know what was wrong with it. I brought it to the dealership. When they looked at my car, I got this text with a link in it. And it was like, hey, we looked at your car. Here's what's wrong with
Do
it.
you have a Honda?
No, I have a Mazda.
Okay.
So Mazda shot me this text. I go into the link, and it's a video of the guy, like with my car all hung up and open, like walking through everything. Like, this is what we found. This is why like that problem was happening. We also noticed this. And then they had like 3 different categories in like green, yellow, red.
Yeah.
And red was like, this has to be fixed now.
Immediately.
Like, we recommend, like, this should be done right now. You shouldn't leave without this being done.
Yeah.
Yellow was, we noticed this while we were looking at your car. It's going. It's not a big problem right now. You're fine if you don't choose to do the service, whatever. And then
Yeah.
green was like, this is all good.
Yeah.
But they scanned, like, they went through my entire car and did that. And like tying that into kind of our industry, I'm like, why don't more service guys do this when they go in for a service
So
call?
we do that.
You do that.
We do actually
That's
do that.
what
So
that's
when
what
we go,
everyone should do.
when
That's
we
an
go
amazing
into a service
thing.
call, technically what we're supposed to do, and I'm guilty of not doing this. I wish there was a better, great idea, design a software to make more of a system that can kind of function under that idea.
Right.
That'd be great. But we do it. We'll go in, we'll find the issues with the product. We'll go and look at a boiler. Okay, your pump's leaking. Take a picture of the leaking pump. Take a picture of the model serial number. Tie all that together, and then you send them a bunch of quotes, and they go, what was actually wrong with it? And you send them the pictures and explain it to them if you even have to, if they're not there. You felt confidence in
Right.
what was going on there, and
Totally.
you knew what
They
needed to be done
explained
right away.
everything to me. They
Right.
were thorough, and it's not something I had to pay for. Like,
Right, but
There-
even if you did, you probably would have been like, okay, like it is what it is. Like
Right.
it's got to be fixed. Okay, cool. Well, I understand and I feel comfortable with it more so than like, oh, it's just a scam. They're ripping me off. Like, because that's what people
Totally.
think about like what we do now with servicing these high efficiency boilers
Right.
with the car dealerships. It's all the same shit.
it really is. I mean, it's all mechanical parts,
Right.
you know, just different mechanical parts.
Right, exactly. But I
But-
think people for the longest time, like, see, it bothers me because they used to have the Maytag man back in the day, and he
Yeah.
would run around and fix and service appliances, and that's what people did back in the 40s and 50s.
Right.
And then at some point they got away from that, and the American culture shifted to fuck that, we don't need to service anything. And for a long time that worked with older product, but we're
Well, it was so cheap
Right.
back then too. You could just replace it and no big deal.
yeah, I know. You could call a maintenance guy in to fix your washing machine for like $1.
Right.
Now, if you call him in, you can buy a washing
$600
machine.
to walk through the door.
Right, exactly. It's crazy. I just, I don't know, man. I'm with you though. I do think that the more thorough you are, like you explained, the
Right.
more thorough you are, the more comfortable you're going to feel. And that's what we try
And I
to
think
do.
homeowners would gain more trust in that too.
I think that might be why we have so many homeowners that really like us and trust us working. Like you read some of our reviews and it's like, I wouldn't let anybody else in my house. You built that trust.
I mean, as a company is like, what can we do differently to set ourselves apart? Like that's something that these service guys should be doing to set themselves apart.
Right.
And, which you obviously do. Like that right there is an amazing thing. Like that just blew me away.
Yeah.
Completely blew me away.
Yeah. It's all about how you deliver the message, and
Totally.
it's all about communication.
Just being fucking honest, man.
Yeah, it's true. I guess I don't know. I feel like there was a time and a place where like plumbers were just very dishonest, and
They're still doing it.
Yeah, they're still doing it
They
now
are
with the
still
fucking
doing it.
rebates with Mass Save. They're still doing it.
Still doing it.
So I mean, it's whether or not you're going to choose to do the right thing.
Right.
Right. We choose to do the right thing. You guys choose to do the right thing. That's why we have a good working relationship. So,
Exactly. Be
but
straightforward.
thank you guys for coming in.
Dude,
This was
fucking
This was crazy.
thanks
That
for having
flew
a very-
by.
Yeah, I
Holy
told you
shit.
it would, but this has been a very technical, very good conversation that we've had. Max, you'll be back for your own episode at some point
Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Tim, we already did yours, but we're going to somehow reverse air them. I don't know. We'll
figure
talk
it
to the
out.
producer about that. But next week, guys, join us. I have Vinny Zarella, my business coach, and I would say longer time friend now, coming on the show, and he's going to talk to us about his life and all the crazy shit that he's seen as a business owner, entrepreneur, fireman, bouncer at a club. He's done everything. So that's going to be a good episode. Tune in next week. Thank you guys so much.